I it disconnected from the. It's everything is not working right now, but it's fine.
Okay.
All right, bet. So, I mean, I just kind of have a bunch of questions written down. So, um, I'm just kind of like gonna go through them, and if I think of any other questions along the way, we'll ask those. But you could feel free to answer like as in depth as you want, or as like as quick as you want. Like answer however you want. Um, but my first question was, when did you get into the fandom? And also, some of these questions will be because not everybody watching like knows. Some of the questions we might already know the answer to, but not everybody watching will. So I'm gonna try to keep them like sort of not too basic, but you know, fill everybody in. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I got into the fandom when I was around 12 to 13 years old. So it's almost been 11 years, I believe,
Oh,
in the
geez.
fandom now. So it's been quite some time.
Almost 11 years. Wow. So that's definitely a gray muzzle then, right? As 10 years or more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what's
I've
up.
actually had the same Sona for about this past 11 years. I never had a different one, which is
Wow.
kind of
Oh
weird. Most
wow.
people like, alternate between Sonas, yada yada. But
Jeez.
mine's just been giving like updates.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met somebody who's had the same Sona for, just added. That's awesome.
I was gonna say, yeah, that kind of. Man, that's gonna change another question or two.
Yeah.
Oh,
Later for sure.
sorry.
No, that's all right. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
that's a pretty long time
Yeah, that's
to
really
have the
cool.
same Sona. I feel like most people that have a Sona that long.
Man, you should get a tattoo of them at that point.
Yeah, seriously.
I've considered it, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Would you ever get a tattoo of Verge? Would you?
A Verge? Yeah, I would consider it,
Okay.
but I'd probably be my second tattoo because I have a first tattoo, but I drew it like back in high school, and I still need to find it though. I
Okay.
don't know where it's at, but it's like half wolf and like half mountains. Like it's kind of like a cool design that I made up, and it's really cool.
That's
I've never
sounds
seen it
good.
online or anything, so I
That's
can't wait
good.
to find it again.
That's always good to have unique stuff.
Yeah, you'll have to show us.
Heck yeah. Having stuff that's unique is good. I feel like too many people have the same tattoos, like the spider web on the elbow or
The clock and the roses.
right. There's too many people with the same stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with
Yeah.
that, but being
Roses
unique
are
is
cool.
always good. Definitely. Okay, so I mean the next question was, what was your first Sona and why did you choose them? So I mean you just told us that like Verge was your first and like only. So what made you choose Verge and why like have you stayed so attached to them for so long? And not like
Um,
decided to have any other like main Sona.
well, Verge, the reason I chose my Sona, well, the colors were originally from my favorite football team. And
Okay.
if you know football, then you kind of would know what kind of team it is. But if you don't, it's the Seahawks,
Okay.
from from
Seattle.
Washington. Yes,
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks.
Gotcha.
Um, but the that's where I chose the colors from. But where I got the name from was from one of my late like great grandfathers back down in Mexico, who has like a very unique name like Verge, and it was in different it was in Spanish. So I was like, I'll just take this name, see how well it goes, because I haven't heard like anyone really use that type of name in
Yeah.
this fandom or anyone like in person really. So
Right.
I was like, it's an interesting name. I'll see how it goes. And it's been well so far.
Did you have the nickname Verge the whole time? Because I know the full name is Vergence, right? So have you been
Yes, it's
using the nickname Verge for the whole time, or when did you come up with that?
uh the full name is Virgins, but since people have like really difficult times pronouncing it, I just basically give it like just half the name, just Verge or
Yeah.
Vergie or so it's easier to pronounce for most people because for some even it's difficult to say Verge because they don't know how to pronounce the G, and I'm like, it's okay, either one's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. It keeps it's simple, but then the full name is it's still not. I don't think it's complicated. It's definitely unique for sure. You don't hear anybody else with that name. That's pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Um, well, the next question I had written down was how many Sonas have you had before Virgin? Which one did you connect to the most? But I mean, you told us that Verge is the one that you connect to obviously the most because he's the only one. So maybe like, could you tell us like why you like Verge so much and like why you haven't felt the need to um like venture out and like create any new sonas, or have you had ideas that you haven't followed through on because you don't feel like you would connect as well?
Oh, for certain. I've had a few like thoughts about other sonas, but when I went through the color palette and drawing stuff, because I used to be able to do furry art back in 2017, 2016. I was really good at it, but I stopped because uh, I entered a competition and kind of like my ego just it went down all the way. But it's not we're not talking about art. But
Yeah.
uh, so my I was like doing the colors, doing the species and stuff, but none of them really like I really attached to it like as I did to Vergie. So I never really made or drew up any other concepts because I've had this on forever, and it's kind of hard to let go of something that you really treasure so much, you know.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely understand that. I feel like after that long of a time, it would be really difficult to let go. But also, I could see getting another persona not as really letting go, but maybe like kind of dividing up your time. But I can also see how Verge could, fulfill your time, and you could have no problems with that. A lot of people like Verge a lot, so of course that makes sense.
Mhm.
Hmm. That's what's up. Next question was, do you think that you'll ever have another main Sona? I know you said you
Another
connect to
one.
Verge a lot, but life is long and you never know. I mean, every now and then people see something that catches their eye and could change their opinion and make them think things that they never thought that they would think.
Oh yeah.
What a tongue twister. But yeah, so do you think that you could ever be open to having another main persona if you ever like saw something or thought of something or had an idea and you were like, "Oh my gosh, that would be crazy."
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm very open to new ideas and new concepts almost like every single day. So I wouldn't like get it out of the question like, no, I would never get another Sona because I love this one. No, I'm more than happy to get another one if I connect and really love that Sona as much as I do this one, because I'm planning on getting a suit very much here soon in
Heck yeah.
about
Okay.
January.
That's
That's
It'll
what's up.
be
Ooh, a
ready and
January.
sent.
That's what's up.
that's gonna
Do
be
you mind if we
amazing.
ask, or I mean, you don't have to tell us if it's a secret. Do you mind if we ask like who you're thinking about going with? Like, is it going to be a bigger maker? Do you have any idea?
They're not a big maker, but they're a local maker in their
Okay,
area
that's
in
what's up.
Mexico.
Okay,
So uh, the maker is called Katsu Doggo. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
I'll go.
they made
Yeah,
really good suits.
okay,
And I waited for my spot for about 2 years,
that's what's
and
up.
this is
Wow.
almost a third year waiting for that
Wow.
spot. So
Jeez.
I'm just here waiting
They
for
kept
it.
you on weight?
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Wow. They kept you on weight. Wow. That's what's up.
Yeah,
So you said down
it's
in
worth it.
Mexico. Are you
Mhm.
located in Mexico?
No,
Okay, I didn't
I'm
think so.
located in
But you're right.
Washington.
Okay, that's what I thought. But okay, that's what's up. Okay, cool, cool. So it's somebody. All right, cool. That's what's up. Um. All right. Well, I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people probably had no idea that you were gonna have like a actual suit made.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Do you plan on doing lives in the suit at all, or are you gonna keep it all like digital, like in the VR world? Or are you gonna mix it up, or?
I plan on doing live streams with my suit on very soon, I hope.
Ooh.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah, mostly gonna be using it for like gaming streams instead of like
Ooh.
interactions with the probably like the interactions ones probably, which is a VR chat, which is for me is very simple because screen in front of you, you could read everything, very simple, very easy,
Yeah.
and it's
Hmm.
very much fun. But for suits, you'll be sweaty, tired, you know, and
Yeah.
I could barely see out of the hole of the eyes, and
I
I
wouldn't
put
do
on a
it.
few suits. Yeah, I put on a few suits, and it's like it's very difficult to see. Like you can barely see like 2 feet in front of you, so
Yeah.
it's very scary. So imagine reading a chat that goes like 10 like really fast, or like you miss
Oh
something
yeah.
and then people start like you
Yeah.
So
you feel bad.
we have that issue with every now and then. I mean, I know sometimes our chat is manageable, but sometimes it's not though. I mean, it doesn't take too many people for the comments to really start moving, especially when you have a head on and it takes you like 5 times longer just to read the comments and stuff. Hey, that's what's up. Tactical said that they love your voice. Shout out to
Aw, thank
Verger's
you.
voice. Voice reveal.
It might sound different because it's on a different mic.
Right on Discord. Different voice reveal all over again. Okay, cool. So let me see. Um, when did you first start using social media for furry related things? I know you said you've been a furry for a long time, so when did you first start watching like furry content, and then like when did you start like maybe making furry content, whether it was like edits or I know VR wasn't around for a long time, so how did Verge exist before VR?
Oh yes. Verge just came up out of a concept because you know those drawings where you just put in your Sona, and I was like, what if I just doodle around, do that, and
Hmm.
mess around. It was pretty cool. I even had a radiation logo on me at one point. I don't know what I was doing. It was just making stuff up. It was really
those
fun.
those edgy
So.
teen years.
Yeah, so the first social media account that I ever made with Verge was iFunny, if you ever heard of
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
app before.
for sure, dude. I used to
Yeah,
use iFunny way back in the day.
Yeah, same here.
Oh my gosh, like
yeah. I had iFunny back in 2014, I believe.
yeah,
That's when I made my
I
first
was
account.
right around the same because I'm a my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 27, and I was using iFunny when I was in like early high school, maybe even middle school. So yeah, right around like 20, probably even before that. Up until that point, though, iFunny used to be the bomb. I was using iFunny in like 2010, 2011.
Yeah, I
Mm.
I wasn't aware of like the community on there at all. You know how you could search in like through like just random posts and like that one subscription bar.
Yeah.
I found some furry art related stuff and I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's cool. And I'll just follow some accounts and do all that stuff. So I started posting myself on my profile more and more. Um not of my Sona, but more of like other people's like art like that I saw was cool, but
Like
it's
furry
really
related art.
unethical. Yes, so I would
Okay.
just at one point I was even posting up towards 320 posts a day,
Really?
which
Wow.
was
So you were
yes.
Verge originally started off reposting furry art then.
Yes, I mean it's
Okay.
very unethical because
I
I was
don't
a
think
kid. I
so.
don't know what I was doing. It
You're
was
spreading
it
the
was
love.
fun. Yeah, I was that's what I like. I was doing. I was spreading out like, oh, this is the cute stuff I found on other websites. I'll
Yeah,
share it.
yeah.
I'll just share it here. Do some
You
other
weren't like
people's
taking
things.
credit for it, so I don't see how anybody could be mad at
Ah,
that. You're spreading the love.
no. Yeah, yeah, taking credit. Yeah, I was not taking credit for that. I was just posting it. It was so much fun.
Right.
But it was crazy how much posts I would do for a day. Like, at the moment, if I look back, probably has like 50,000 posts on that one account,
Oh
which
my god.
is,
That's so many posts. Sheesh.
yeah.
So did you just
Um,
post all of them like each thing that you found to be awesome, you just reposted it in its own post?
yes. So
That's what's
if I
up.
would go up, like I would go off to different websites like Tumblr, which was I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. Tumblr, I don't think I went on just
Tumblr is
Tumblr
still a thing, I
actually.
think, right?
I have no idea.
I think Tumblr's still a thing. I don't know.
Oh geez, yeah, I haven't
I
haven't been
never
on
got
there
into
for a
it.
while.
I think it is though. Who knows?
So yeah, so I just reposted every single day up towards 320 posts a day. I was like, I'm curious how many times I post, so I counted and I was like, okay, that is a scary amount.
Jeez, how
That is
many
a
likes
scary
did they all
amount.
used to get?
Um, at first, it wasn't that many, so I would just post like 20 and 30 a day. But then over time, my account got like to the second biggest furry account on iFunny,
Wow,
which
Oh
was
wow, jeez.
insane.
that's
Yeah, my
amazing.
my account I think has like 40 to like 30 features, which
That's what's up.
iFunny
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
on iFunny, you if you get featured, you basically get posted like on everyone's.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
I
explain
got
it.
featured one time. Once. It was the Call of Duty clip.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I used to love play Call of Duty,
Yup.
especially zombies.
It wasn't even anything I did. It was some guy going off on me for killing him, and I was happened to be recording, and he freaked out, and it got featured. That's the only time I ever got featured. It wasn't even me, so but I still took credit. I was the one that recorded it, so you know
Yeah, that's pretty
that's
nice.
awesome. You had a lot of features. Jeez, dude, that's a lot.
Yes, it's very fun having your first feature. It's very exciting as
Yeah.
well.
I would imagine it would be exciting every time too, because having the second biggest like furry related account on there was awesome. Like back in the day, like I would like obviously I knew what furries were, but I never was like too much intertwined in the furry culture, for a long time. Really until I met her. So like I never really saw any of the content or interacted with it or anything, but I really wish I would have. For real, who knows where I would have been now. But that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's what's up. That's why I like to ask all these questions and come up with more questions. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure you probably have never told anybody that back in the day with all that, unless they were around, or maybe you have. But that's pretty cool. I like that. That's what's up.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I've bumped into quite a few people from iFunny, like three to
Okay.
four, which was it's scary because they're like, "Wait, are you from iFunny?" And I'm like, "Who are
Back in
you?"
the
Because
day,
they're, I'm
Well,
like,
I
"Huh?"
remember you from my phone.
like 8 years ago, I remember you.
Yeah, it's very scary. And I'm like, "Do I know you?" He's like, "Yes, I do know you." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know you," because usually they have like their name changed, their whole persona changed, and I'm like, I just
Yeah.
stay the same,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's good though. That's how you create a brand, and that's how you create something memorable that people will remember even after 8 years.
True.
That's crazy. Um, all right, well, cool. That kind of leads into the next one. When did you realize that you wanted to be an influencer? And that kind of is like, I think that's a perfect question to lead into because, like, you got a lot of features and stuff. So, did you consider yourself back in the day to be like an influencer, or like even though you said you reposted stuff most of the time, did you consider yourself to be an influencer, or did that kind of like give you the inspiration that you needed to venture off into whatever your next step was and just continue to try and create a community wherever you went?
I see. Wonderful question.
Hey,
Um,
thank you.
I yeah, I never really thought myself as a content creator or an influencer until recent days, and I'm like, I create content, so I am a content creator, and
That's true.
which is that just like sank in, and I'm like,
Hmm.
hmm,
Do you
interesting.
do you consider there to be a difference between a content creator and an influencer though? Like, do you think that like maybe like a certain follower goal or anything like that separates the two? Do you consider yourself to be an influencer and a content creator?
Um, in order to be, well, what I define an influencer, um, people follow that one person depending like on what they do like on a daily basis or what they like to watch. And
Hmm.
content creation is basically just making content that is just, relatable and really cool and really nice to know.
Right.
It's what I do, but I don't really consider myself much of an influencer. I mean, I don't know. I've never thought about it that way
I
before,
think a
which
lot
is
of people
interesting.
would beg to differ. That's why I wanted to ask that because, like, a lot of people I feel like are too humble, and I feel like you're probably one of them because you obviously have like a pretty big following and you've been around for a long time. So I think pretty much anybody that you ask would say that you are an influencer, but you said you don't really see yourself as much of one. But like, I mean, you're out here changing people's lives and like making it better and improving their days and. We have a lot of people that come into our stream that are always asking like, "When's Verge gonna go live? Where's Verge been? Tell Verge that we love him." And we're like, we don't have his cell phone number. Like we know him, but like we don't know him like that. Like we can't just go over there. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say like for real, I would definitely say that you are for sure an influencer, at least in both of our eyes and like our community's eyes. So that's pretty interesting. Well,
Oh,
what would you say that you would need to still do to consider yourself an influencer?
um, in all reality, for me to be consider myself an influencer would be focusing on content creation with my voice first off, you know, because I basically don't show any like my voices are never in any of my videos. So
Mhm.
people don't recognize my voice at all or recognize they just recognize a character. They're like, "Oh, I know that person." But I
Right.
mean, a lot of people a lot of influencers as well in the furry community don't need to use their voice like telephone if you know who they
Yeah.
are. They're
Oh, for
really a
sure.
OG.
We met
Yeah, they
Telephone.
just
Actually, fun fact. She got a picture with Telephone. It
ooh,
was pretty
that's
dope. We
awesome.
met Telephone. They squeaked at us. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's just interesting lines between like I just I just can't wrap my head around it really.
Okay. Yeah,
um
that's cool. I mean, everybody has their own like definition of what that is. I mean, you could go based on like TikTok's, whatever their goals are for you to be an influencer or their requirements or whatever. But I don't know. I think our standards for that are kind of like lower, just because like I don't know. I consider anybody who like influences people in a positive way, like a decent number of people. Like, if you're able to help significantly more people than the average person, then I would say that you're probably an influencer. So, I mean, with your reach, I mean, I would definitely say so from our point of view. But that's what's up. You getting hot in there?
No, I was getting hair in my mouth.
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't think lava.
um, let me see. Let me see. Um, okay, so the next question is: has the journey to your current follower count been easy or hard, and why? Oh my head.
uh well, I've been on TikTok's platform for a little over a year now. I started back in September of last year. So it's
Oh
September,
wow.
October, and November. So in like a year and 2 months, really.
Okay.
Um,
The account or the
I
lives?
my account.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what's up.
so
That's pretty good. Heck yeah.
yeah, I think it was September. I think it's a little bit older, but it could be a little bit older. But I wasn't really thinking about posting on TikTok at all until I did my first post. Um, and once I did my first post, that's when I gained around 5 to 6 thousand followers because they got
From
like
the first
half a
post.
million views.
Geez, your
Yeah,
first post
it
on
was.
TikTok blew up that much.
Yeah, and I was
Wow.
like, should I keep this going
Was
or
it a
just
VR? Was it in VR?
yes, it was
Okay,
VR.
that's what's up.
Um, so I just thought, should I keep posting or should I just, that was just a one-time hit. So I just kept posting. I was like, why not try this out? And I kept going and going and going. I took a little bit of break, but only because of family matters. But then I kept posting afterwards, didn't give up. And I recently only blew up in the past 2 months, actually. About 4 months ago, I didn't have like half of the amount of followers I have now. I've
Okay.
only had about 80,000 or so, and then it just jumped up to like 200,000
I
in
actually
like the
think
past 3 months.
I vaguely remember like the first time we ran into you that you had like it was still a lot of followers, but it was significantly less than you do now. So I think I actually remember that, maybe around the 80,000 mark. I think we might have ran into you
Hmm.
for the first time around then. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't know. I think we ran into you for the first time. It was a while ago. And we were like, "Oh my gosh, they were in our live." We
We were like, bruh.
were like, "What? No way, dude! Somebody famous." Okay, well that's what's up. So would you say that you would consider it like on the easier side then? I'm not saying easy, but a lot of people, it's no secret, a lot of people will spend like years and years and years posting, and never be able to get to that point just because of the simple fact that not everybody can get that many likes, or else that would be the normal. So
Hmm.
like, would you say that it's been a little bit easier just because like people vibe with your stuff?
To be honest, the only reason I believe that my accounts are mostly, get on the viewers side, more followers and such, is because I tend to learn each platform's algorithm, like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. At one point, I used to have around 60 to 80,000 followers on a Husky account on Instagram a while ago, believe
Jeez.
it or not.
That's a lot for Instagram.
Yeah, it was crazy insane. Some videos would go up to like 7 to 8 million views at one point, which was crazy insane.
And you still don't consider
Um,
yourself I'm sorry, that's just so crazy. Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
That's so nuts. Wow.
um,
Okay.
yeah, no,
That's a
yeah,
lot. That's a lot.
yeah. So the thing is, I basically gave my account away because it was just taking so much of my time to a friend that is still posting to this day. So I think I don't know, uh, yeah.
That's what's up. Is that do you mind
Um,
me asking, is that another like was that a like an account related to Verge? Was that like a VR account?
oh no, it was just mostly about huskies, just dogs, and
Oh,
just
okay.
like a
Oh, Huskies.
one
Okay,
dog.
okay.
Yeah.
I think you said Husky. I was like, okay, Verge. It just connected in my head. Okay. That's what's up. Okay. That's amazing. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, that's enough to make money off of that. Like
Um,
probably,
mhm.
right? To generate
Yeah, I only
some kind of
made
money.
roughly like I think it was like 300 a month, I believe. So, I mean, it's not too bad because
Right.
I wasn't really promoting anything other than just posting. So
Right.
if you promote,
You
then
can
you'll
definitely.
probably earn a bit more.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That is
Um,
really cool though
Yeah.
for something that you never really intended to get like that. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was crazy. I just like huskies, so I just posted pictures, a lot of them,
That's
and
right.
uh, the
The way
I
you
got
said that
scared
was so
because.
great. It was so innocent. You're like, I just like huskies. You're like, I don't know. People just, I don't know.
Yeah, so I would just post them and stuff, but then I didn't realize that some of the images were some other Husky creators, so they copy striked me for the first time.
Okay.
So then once I was like, oh, I should probably stop taking them from the internet because it probably reposts from Instagram. So I just did
Yeah.
like a post saying, if you have a Husky and you want them being promoted on my account, send them right in.
Oh, I
And
bet you
I
got
got
blown
like
up.
yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't keep up. I got like 20 to 60 a day. I
Yeah.
tried. It
Jeez.
was just got overwhelming.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Man.
Jeez.
But I had content for days then, or years
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could just open up emails for submissions for a week and have enough to go for like a year. For real. Jeez. Okay. Well, that's crazy. Wow. So, the next part or the next question was, what's the hardest part of being an influencer? But, we'll just change that to say, like, what's the hardest part of, what you do now, like with like TikTok? Because TikTok seems like your main focus right now. That right? That's like kind of the only thing that you have going, from what I've gathered.
Yeah, I mostly just do TikTok for the time being.
Okay.
Oops. I don't really do any other stuff because it's TikTok's the most time consuming.
Right.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
really time consuming. It's just I'm on TikTok all day.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it is time consuming because you have to I mean, I guess you don't have to, but to be a good role model, you should be interacting with people and stuff. So, I mean, it definitely is time consuming. The more followers you have, the more of a responsibility it is. You have like 10 times as much as us, so can only imagine. um, okay, cool. So what would be the hardest part of all of that, would you say? Just like the amount of time that it takes?
Um, yeah, it's mostly time consuming. But probably the worst part is just the unnecessary drama, which is why I am no longer in any furry groups, as in telegrams or VR chat or any of that stuff.
Okay.
Because
Right.
once drama hits the fan, it goes everywhere. It
Yeah.
doesn't stop.
Oh yeah, we're not. I don't want to get into the whole drama thing, but I mean, we're everybody that knows us knows that we're all about good vibes and spreading positivity. And we've only ever had, I would say, maybe 2 or maybe 3 like incidents with people. So we really don't like drama. We don't even like to address it. We just prefer to just move on and pretend like it never happened. So we're always trying to avoid drama over here. So I definitely can resonate with that. We don't really have it happen too much. So I wouldn't say that's the hardest part for us, but whenever it does happen, it is very annoying because you can't really ignore it. You're kind of like forced to address it, or else rumors can kind of run rampant, and you know, kind of have to try and shut them down, and it takes even more time. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much drama.
Yeah, we recently had some drama going on, but it it is what it is. It ended peacefully, so what can you do? So the counter to the last question would be, what is the easiest part for all of us? Like, what do you find to be like the easiest or like the most natural to you? Like, what's the most natural thing about it that you do effortlessly that you just do without thinking about it?
The most uh easiest thing or most funnest thing for me is that I really love just talking to people in the lives. That's why I do it really, because I usually just get on VR chat and do the same thing but talking to just random people in VR chat in a mirror. So then I was like, technically a camera could just point at me and then I could just be talking to strangers online, but on a different way. Instead of just in VR chat, I could be doing it on TikTok. And I started off doing that. It was really hard at first because I didn't have any type of stream way, so I would have to get my phone pointed at my monitor, which is very difficult. And I had to get my speakers set up to the point where it would just exclude only audio from the game. So it was just very interesting how my setup was compared to how it is now.
Complicated.
Oh yeah, it was very complicated.
You got the
Okay.
upgrades.
Heck yeah. Okay, yeah. So the easiest part is just talking to people. That's what's up. We also love talking to people. Anybody, pretty much. Even haters. I mean, we don't really like banning haters. I don't necessarily love talking to them, but I don't mind. We're able to change people's minds pretty often. We have a couple regulars in our chat right now that came in initially to hate, but after listening to us, and they were like, "Hey, they sound like normal, everyday human beings. What
Right.
is this nonsense?" And then they end up liking us. So you know, yeah, we like talking to people too. I
Yeah.
really love it.
Yeah, I've had quite a few of those as well. It's kind of funny. Because I on stream I say I'm a mascot, not a furry, just to, ease in there. And then once they see my stream for a little bit, they're like, "Oh, this guy is pretty nice. I'll give them a follow and just
Heck
text in
yeah.
the chat." And
And
then
then
once
one
they
day
join
they
the
find out,
Discord,
and then they're
No, I'm
like,
just a mascot.
and then one day they find out they lied to me. They're a furry, but then they'll be okay with it.
They're like,
yeah,
fair enough.
like, "Oh, they're furry." So I've been hanging out with the furry all this time. I mean, if this is what a furry is, I don't think I would mind, like
Right.
that's their
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah,
Right.
So I mean,
that's cool.
That's
um,
what's up. That's a good approach
and
to
less
it.
hate in the chat too. So it's it's pretty win-win.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
for
That's
sure.
smart.
Yeah, that's a good approach to it. I mean, it's better to try and convince people than to just, in my opinion, than to just like block them and stuff. Because if you block them, you're only kind of giving them what they want,
Yeah.
hmm
which is only encouraging them. So
Yeah, you're enforcing that
right,
that
right,
behavior.
you're right. The bad behavior.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. We respect that a lot. We take a slightly different approach, but try to end at the same place, which is like that tricking them into liking furries. Because like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with furries or any other group of people, man. If you think there is, then something's wrong with your group of brain cells. It's the
Yeah.
only thing that's wrong. But so what gives you the most joy out of anything furry related?
um, I most joy, huh?
Like anything
Uh,
furry related, like
hmm.
that could be like making content. It could be interacting with other furries. It could be going to conventions. It could be anything. It could be watching
Oh.
Furry stuff, like anything in the realm of furry. I told you I was going to make you think a little bit, so I started off easier. But yeah, I want to make you think a
Yeah.
little bit. So yeah, what's your favorite thing in the whole world of furries? Like, what makes you the happiest? What brings you the most joy? It just melts your heart.
The thing that I could really think about would be a convention I recently attended back in, I believe, I don't know when it was actually, but it was like quite a year ago, or was it
Okay.
this year? I have no clue.
What's the end of the
But
year? So it could have been, yeah, probably.
it was BLFC in Nevada, Reno, Nevada, in the
Okay,
hotel, and
right.
um, the thing that's very memorable and very like exciting was that like we were all like relaxing and just having a fun time, and then it was like 11:30 at night, and I thought we would go to bed, right? But apparently bowling opens up at 12 a.m. for free to 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. So
Wow,
everyone
midnight,
ran down.
bro.
Yeah, so everyone ran down, and it was just a big old line waiting until the bowling alley, and we were like the fourth group in there, so we got the bowling privileges.
That's what's
And
up.
it was just furries bowling with their fursuits, and it was just that night was just so memorable, and I just wish I could have been there forever. And
That's what's
then
up.
the next day we went go-karting for like the whole day, and then mini golfing, and then we just literally just did the activities like
That's so
instead of going
awesome.
to the actual convention, just hanging out
That's
with
what's up.
friends and stuff, you know.
So it's the whole like interaction with other people in the community for you.
Yeah, of
Heck yeah.
course.
That's what's up. For me, I don't know if it's the interaction with the other people in the community or interaction with like just the general public, like specifically like kids, because like we went to the fall festival and then the Halloween festival at the mall, like by where we used to live, and both of them there was like a lot of kids around, and there was also people in costumes and stuff, but you don't really see their eyes light up as much as they do when they see Starburst. So it's just kind of it's just really cool to see like you can kind of see yourself creating a memorable experience for them. I think it's just really extra special for kids because it's like, how many things do you remember from when you were young and you were that age? Um, and like how many of them are good versus bad? Like I think a lot of people remember bad stuff, but if it's an overwhelmingly good experience, you can also remember that. So I feel like some of these people were creating like some of the first memorable good experiences in their life, and maybe that will like kind of take root and like develop into them being a furry and being like somebody influential down the road and stuff. So I don't really
It's just
know.
inspirational.
Right, either that or like on the other hand talking to people who are already in the community and just reassuring them that you know aside from the haters everybody else loves them, like most of the general public doesn't have a problem with her, furries and stuff,
Yeah.
and everybody else in the community loves them, and so I don't really know, it's really tough, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to answer that question, even though I just kind of did.
I was thinking about
I don't know, man.
It's tough.
It's just interacting with people in general, for real, whether they're a furry or not. It's just like reassuring people that furries are good. So that's it. I like that, and creating memorable experiences for sure. You know. All right, bad. So the next question: when do you think that you will hit 1 million followers on TikTok? Because
Oh.
you probably haven't thought about it. And that's exactly how dude, I literally think when I wrote that down and she was reading over the questions, I think I made a joke. I was like, when I ask this, he's probably gonna be like, oh, and that's exactly what you did. You were like, oh, like you probably don't ever think about that, but I mean, everybody that looks at your account sees like how many followers you get. And I recall when we were in your live the one day, we saw you gain like 400 followers in like 20 minutes. So I mean, it's just like, 1 million might seem kind of far away, but it's the snowball effect. I mean, the more you get, the quicker you grow. So I would say
Yeah, that is.
your journey up until this point has probably taken longer than from here to 1 million.
Mhm.
And
Um,
so what do you think?
yeah.
Give us a date and a
So,
time. We're gonna write it down,
Yeah.
put it in a thing, bury it in the backyard. We'll dig it up when it happens and see if it's right.
oh,
Oh my gosh!
I
What
fell off.
happened?
Bert.
Fall
Oh,
off the chair.
whoa.
I am tiny. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
there you go.
What are you doing over there?
I fell off the chair. So,
Oh my gosh.
to the que- to the question about the million followers, I don't know really. I don't really have a set point or a
Have you
set
thought
goal
about it?
for that. Um, I I barely even think about 300K, let alone 1 million. So,
That's
uh,
understandable, but you said it yourself earlier that you went from 80,000 to 220,000 and counting in the last 4 months. So again,
mhm.
the snowball effect. It took you X amount of time to get to here, but then the next time you did triple that, the next time you tripled that. So it's like, if you look at the next 4 month period, you're probably going to go from 220 to maybe 500,000. And then like, if you multiply that again, I don't know, it kind of just makes sense as long as you keep doing what you're doing. Um, there's plenty of people out there that'll find you and follow still.
Yeah, the only main reason I began gaining a lot of traction recently was because of my live streams, really. One of my videos went up to like 2.1 million views within like a week, I believe, and it
That's
was
fun.
just a snowball. It just kept going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
Was it a
Um,
clip from your live?
uh, no, it was just a video I made about for the live. It was like if you
Oh, okay.
join this sound will play, and then when you follow and stuff like
Oh,
that.
was it the period ah, period ah?
It was about the "It's Wednesday, my dudes," and then this
Oh,
guy in a
right.
Spider-Man suit screams like "Ah!"
Right, right. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Got you.
Yeah. So once that one started, and then it just kept going because one stream I ended up getting like I believe 27,000 followers within four to 5 hours.
Oh my God. If we got that many followers, we would probably never, ever, ever get offline for like a week.
How did you
Yeah,
not get banned, though?
Yeah, how'd you not get
What?
banned? Jesus. What was your
I
average viewer count during that live?
that was actually the highest viewer count I've hit on my account, which was roughly I think it was 2.4K
Wow.
roughly watching for about an hour or two,
Wow.
like
That's a lot.
steady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really
Crazy.
crazy. I was like, that's a lot of people watching me. Where do you
Wow.
guys come from?
Did you not,
What
you
are you
never
guys
ended up,
doing?
you never got banned because of that?
No, I haven't, but I have
Wow.
been suspended, but that was a little over a year ago when I used to stream from my monitor.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing for real. Like, I don't mean to sound so surprised, but like, TikTok is very quick to ban people, due to like the fact that it's all automated. So if X amount of people report a certain live, it'll trigger the system. So yeah, it's just shocking, but that's also really, really good news. It's amazing. I can't imagine
Yeah,
growing.
that's just
We don't even have 27,000 followers,
Yeah,
period. So
that's
I can't imagine doubling our number from one stream. I would probably poop.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I'd be like, dude,
That's
no way.
amazing.
That'd be crazy. I know that's crazy, man. Maybe you'll think a little differently after this whole conversation that we're having. For real, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
For real,
Wow.
you're definitely out here setting milestones for other people to try and hit.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Paving roads.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Man.
Heck yeah. Okay. So the next question. To follow up with the million followers, do you have any plans for the future, or are you just taking things as they come? I know you said that you barely even know what to think about the 300,000 followers, but again, just being real, it's right around the corner. So, do you have any plans, long term, short term, and like,
Um,
what do you? Yeah, what are they, if anything?
to be honest, I've started this account to have fun online, to enjoy my time posting as a creator, content creator. So I made a choice where either I just do it for fun and have fun, relax, or I do it for, um, some type of business that I would like to create in the future.
Right.
So I told myself that for the time being, where I'm at currently, I'm probably gonna keep it where I'm just posting for fun and enjoy the time while I'm here because I'm planning on moving very much soon.
Oh, okay.
So once
That's what's up.
yeah, once I do move, I plan on seeing if I'll take it to the business level where I'll be creating my own brand.
That's
I
what's up.
hope
Heck yeah.
I could.
That would be
That's what's up.
Uh,
Man, we're actually in the process of doing that ourselves. We're gonna be registering as an LLC
yeah.
and getting branded merch and all that stuff. So we would love to see you do the same.
Yeah,
That would be
get some
amazing.
Verge merch. I would
And
love that.
Verge merch. That rolls right off the
Oh my
tongue.
gosh.
Verge merch.
Verge's merch.
You have to.
Oh, geez, I didn't think about that one actually.
You
Thank
have
you.
to. Come
Verge
on.
merch.
Hey, you don't know what's anything for that. All you gotta do is do it. Just
That's perfect.
Verge merch. There you go. Dude.
Yeah, because I already have a logo and where I could get most of my inventory from, but I just
Cool.
don't know where I would, like if I would put myself financially in it because currently, living paycheck to paycheck is kind of like, everyone's
Yeah.
doing currently, trying to be alive, trying to eat
Yeah,
some
I would get
ramen.
it. I think if you I don't know, man, with all the support you get during your lives, I feel like you could probably if you had more like I know while working it's difficult to like turn up the heat with the streams to like do more streams for longer and stuff. It'd be really difficult, but
Yeah.
I feel like you could totally like fill in the gap with the streams and like I don't know what your job is or if you're able to lower your hours or anything, but I could totally see it like slowly shifting and like turning more and more to the stream before long. I mean, man, I have all the faith in you,
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah,
faith.
I'm currently still in school as well, so
Okay,
that kind of puts a little
Yeah.
weight on top of doing the VR stuff.
right.
Of
Okay,
course.
got you. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Well, I think this might be. It's sort of a. We kind of already touched on it, but the next question was, "What is your best memory as a furry?" And I think you already told us like at the convention, but maybe like, is that your best memory period, or is there anything else that was super memorable? Like, did you meet like somebody who was like an idol of yours, like growing up, or somebody you used to like watch on YouTube? Like when for us, like when we met Telephone, that was probably like
Yeah.
one of the best memories because she grew up watching Telephone and we actually met Telephone. It was really cool. So, like, something like that, or yeah, what would it be for you?
Um, my another good memory would be that I had the opportunity to wear my friend's suit when he wasn't wearing it. So I wore a full digi fursuit
Ooh,
down in the lobby at BLFC,
that's what's up.
and and let's just say I went down to the what dealer's den, yes, dealer's den,
Mhm.
and I bought some good stuff, pretending to be like not pretending to be a fursuiter, but just pretend to have one, like walk around with one, and see how it would be. And uh, weirdly enough, when I first wore it, people were just giving me like stuff. Like one person gave me a plushie, and I have no clue why. Here,
Really?
like you,
Just
cause
because
you're
you were wearing
cute.
a
Here
suit?
you go.
Amazing.
Exactly. I was like, there's a
That's
bunch of other
awesome.
fursuiters. And he was like, well, you're the one close to me, and I just want to give it to you because you're cute. I was like, okay, thank you.
That's
Yeah, I
what's
was
up.
like, oh, yeah, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And
That's
then
pretty
when I
cool.
told the person that owned the fursuit about it, he's like, I never got any free stuff. What?
What the heck?
That's what's up.
um, yeah, so that was that's another memory that I really love.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's amazing.
That's what's up. Do you want to shout out whoever's suit it was or no? Was it Guinness?
Um,
We know Guinness
oh,
was
I
on
wish it was
PLFC.
Guinness's suit.
Hey,
I think, but it
Guinness is
was
pretty
a
cool, man. Guinness is cool.
oh
His
yeah,
suit is
Guinness's suit is amazing.
I
The
know he
airbrushing
told
and
us he
everything.
told us how much he paid, and we were like, dude, it took me multiple guesses to get up to that amount. I was like, bro,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
that's
And
more than my car. We'll say that.
yeah, same in here.
It's not a lot more. I mean, my car is a nice car. It was pretty much new, but his suit still costs more.
That's crazy.
Oh God, so bad. Goals. Hashtag goals.
Hashtag goals.
Oh my god, yeah, same.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, so the first suit that I wore was Derek Paz, but they don't mostly have a social media as much, but they just like the community as is, so they just
Yeah.
have Discord, and that's pretty much it. No social
Okay.
media outcome really.
That's what's up.
But
That kind of
and
makes you
they're
wonder, like, how many cool suits are out there that just aren't on
A ton.
like social media, you know?
Yeah.
Because not everybody does
yeah.
it to be
Right.
like to get known. Some people just do it because it's just wholesome,
Right.
and like we also do it for that, but we also enjoy, you know, the community
Yeah,
aspect, like
social
online and
content,
stuff.
yeah.
So makes you wonder.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So weirdly enough, he doesn't have like any social media at all, but he's always on other people's videos. They're like, "Who's that? Who's that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's Derek." I at them. They don't have one. They're like, oh."
That's why.
Well, I mean, that's what's up, though. They sound like a cool
hmm
person. They're not interested in the fortune or the fame. They just want to be a good person and spread the joy.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's pretty
I
cool.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So we're down to like the last two questions. So the last, second to last question is, so how has everybody like in your like personal life supported your like decisions to be in the furry community? Like, have people been supportive? Have people like not supported you? And if they, either way, like how have you reacted to that? And did you take their advice and did it impact you in a good way, in a negative way, or?
Um, to be honest, uh, they don't know.
Oh, okay. They don't know. Okay. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
that. Okay. So they still, even though you've been in the community for 11 years, they still don't know.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
crazy.
like that's just a hobby of mine that I would love for them to be, to be a part of, but like you can't really force anyone to like things. So
Right.
if they ask me like, "Oh, do you know what a furry is?" This stuff or something similar, like you want to go watch Zootopia or something, I'll be like, "Do you know what this is?" Yada yada yada, and I'll see like if they like it, 'cause um for some people I've known, they came out as furries to the family, and they basically have been disowned by them,
Right.
and it's just that kind of, like it might happen. I mean, it's not a possibility because like everyone, like my family members and stuff like me a lot, but the thing is, I just don't want that to be a possibility.
Right.
Maybe,
So you
don't
get the
know,
sense that they wouldn't really be too supportive then.
Um, they would 100%.
Oh, they
I
would.
just
Okay,
don't
that's
know
good.
that my other family members would,
Okay.
and pressure you know, my parents to not be, it's like, uh, it's a weird,
Yeah.
weird family thing,
Well, that
you
makes
know.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I guess you said that you do this for fun, so I mean, I guess like just keeping anything that could potentially get like ruin that fun out of it is probably a smart move.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, we've had a good amount of backlash. I've had to block several family members of mine that said some really ridiculous stuff. Like,
Yeah.
my cousin was like telling me to take her outside to go to the bathroom and stuff, and it's just ridiculous because like, um, it's just ridiculous for obvious reasons.
I don't poop outside.
Right. It's just so ridiculous. And it's like, that's my cousin. I'm not even going to like say anything disrespectful or rude about her, but all I will say is that she's one to talk. So it's just kind of crazy that a lot of people have nothing but bad stuff to say.
Negativity.
Negativity. So like, just got to be out here.
Especially when we're just trying to do something,
Right.
positive.
And you would
It's like,
think that people would support you, especially if they're family, but I guess not everybody, like you said, not everybody has to like everything. I
Yeah.
just wish that some people would
not
be
everybody
better.
understands either.
Right. I wish people would be better about just keeping it to themselves if they don't like it, just like we do with things that we don't like, But not everybody thinks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very true. Like how I don't like tomatoes.
I don't like
Right.
tomatoes either.
Here's the real question:
Very open
tomato or
about that.
tomato?
Tomatoes are gross.
Tomato. Which one?
Tomato.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yeah,
That's the real
tomatoes.
question. So we have one more question, and this question is kind of more like just like a broad thing because like we're really trying to venture out. Like I know that we started our whole thing that we're doing on TikTok. It started just like yours as like a hobby, something for fun, She already posted and stuff, and then we got a lot of comments and interaction, and we saw the lives one day, and we were like, "Ooh, it'd be cool to go live," and it just was fun, so we kept doing it. Just like you, we like talking to people, so we were like, "All right, bet this is like hanging out with like 100 people at once. Like,
Yeah.
how cool is this?"
That's awesome.
And especially during COVID, when a lot of people really could just use somebody to hang out with because everything's shut down and stuff. So it was just a really cool way to bond with people in a time where not a lot of people were able to do that, and like it's just it's gotten crazy. So we're just looking at different ways to like try and grow and expand and look at ways for different furries to help each other achieve their goals, which is like just growing in general and spreading positivity and awareness to all the ignorant people that just fill in the blanks about furries and assume the worst. So we're just trying to like educate people and stuff. So my last question is, if we started like an official like furry hype house. As far as I know, there's not like any crazy hype houses out there furry wise. There are a bunch of hype houses that are like more of like a local friend group type of thing. But if we were to hypothetically start a hype house in the future, and try to include like influential people like yourself, us, um, um, Stellar, yes. So Nefertiti's sister Stellar, just a few people that we've run into, maybe like Guinness or somebody, just a couple different people. Yeah, foxing it up, a couple different people, and we each hypothetically had one day of the week where we would be able to get on the account and like post. Would that be something that you'd maybe be interested in? Because again, it would be a hype house that would be run by, like I hate to say this, I don't mean to sound like egotistical or anything, but like legitimate, like big timer like accounts, like not like the biggest accounts on TikTok,
Yeah.
but also not people that have a couple thousand followers, because the whole goal of it would be to like create something that would be like it would be like crazy, it'd be like something that nobody's really seen on TikTok before, like so many different influential people all in the same place on the same account and stuff. So what would you think about that? Would you ever be open to something like that, hypothetically?
Hypothetically, in the future, yeah, I would be down for that once I'm able to get my first suit and see what type of content I would like my suit to be made with.
Yeah.
Like what type of content I would like to be made with,
Yeah.
and see where that goes first off. I might even make a separate account because I don't know if I would like to see um where the suit goes first.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
integrate it with my VR content, because my original account is just mostly just VR.
Right.
So I just would like to keep it VR stuff, because I don't know if I post fursuit videos or any type of different content, it wouldn't get as much views or much as interactions as I would like. So if I'm maybe starting a new account, it might change the trajectory. Might have more followers, basically like a backup account, but just for a different type of content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I think that would definitely be really cool. And like I think that, speaking of like getting good views and stuff, that's why we would want the account to have, ideally there would be like 7 like pretty like people who have pretty substantial followings. That way no matter who is posting on the account, it will garner a good amount of attention, and it should get pretty consistent likes.
Yeah.
Also, if each person has a certain day of the week to post, it's not going to be the same fursuit every day. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for it to be, but like variety is always a good thing.
It's good to mix it up.
Especially when people click on the account and they see that it's like a bunch of different fursuits on one account. Or even if hypothetically, if you or anybody else that joined did something VR, I think Foxen also does VR. There could be just a variety of content, high quality content that's made by people that multiple members of the community that people like for example, there's a lot of people that like us and you, and probably also like Foxen and also like several other people. So imagine if they could all find us in the same spot. But obviously that's like a thing for the future. But with just this podcast that we're doing, I just kind of, I think it'd be cool to maybe branch out and do something else like that. I think something like that could maybe have the potential to blow up and do pretty well, and just bring a good amount of awareness to all of us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Heck yeah. All right, so well, do you have any questions that you want to ask us? I know you probably didn't have. I came prepared. We're the ones that
Yeah, we
hosting
got
the
the
thing, so we
list.
got to make sure we come prepared. But yeah, I tried to come up with a good amount of questions, and so I could take up the bulk of the time in case you didn't have a ton of questions or anything. But yeah, do you have anything you want to ask? You could ask both of us, either one of us.
Kiki?
We could bring Kiki or Blizzy up here. You could ask them questions.
Okay. Let's see here. Uh, hmm. So the first question I would like to ask is, how long have you guys known each other for?
Hmm.
You answer this because you haven't
I
done too
don't-
much talking.
Well, I don't know because I'm trying to do the math. Because when did we meet? Because when I'm trying to think.
Well, our 1 year anniversary was like
Well, we didn't meet when we started dating though. Because then we meet like
15 months ago was our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
So
Didn't we meet like 1 or 2 months before that?
yeah, so the first time that we actually like met each other was like a year and a half ago, I would say. So we've been in like officially in a relationship for like 15 months now, a little over 15 months. But the first time we ever met was like 2 3 months before that, not even 3 months before that. Yeah, we used to work together. She was a crew trainer at McDonald's, and I actually bought a condo right next door to the McDonald's. So right after I bought my condo there, I actually got a job there as a GM in training. They hired me to be a general manager, so I was doing all my training there. But that's when we met, and they had a policy against people working together. So
Yeah.
so basically, like because I own my condo, my bills are very very cheap. So like I quit my job there, and I convinced like her to quit. And
You didn't even convince me. One day I was just like, I don't feel like going in. Should I quit? And you were like, yeah.
I was like, why not? I was like, you can live with me, and you don't have to pay any bills or anything. She was like, all right, bet. So she quit, moved in with me, and that's that.
Like, all right, I'm coming.
Yeah.
It's all like we moved in like. Then I moved.
We did everything extremely
fast.
fast.
I think
honestly.
I moved in like 2 or 3 weeks after we started dating.
Yeah, like literally like 2 to 3 weeks after we started dating,
My
she moved
parents
in.
weren't happy.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody was like crazy for the idea.
Yeah.
Understandably.
But it's all about amazing. So,
Yeah. It's destiny.
It was.
Heck yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
good
that's
question.
awesome.
The short answer is 18 months.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a good question.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been that long.
It really hasn't. It's very exciting to think like how much we've accomplished in the time we've been together, and how much of a bond we have, and how much we know each other, and how much time we have ahead of us to just kind of expand on everything.
Right.
So it's really exciting.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, a second question here. Did you both already had an interest in furries when you guys met, or did one of you guys have it and the other one developed it later on?
Okay, so when I moved in with B, I had this really musty, dusty fursuit. I bought him for $200. His name was Gray. And I didn't tell him at first I was a furry, so I kind of just moved in and I unpacked it and I was like, oh yeah, here's this. And he was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then, because he wasn't a furry, he knew about furries, but he wasn't, like a furry. He was just like, those are cool. But then I found Ozone 1.0, which was a pre-made, on Etsy, and he decided to get him for me. And once I got Ozone, I, found out about, I was already on TikTok making anime edits, and then when I got Ozone, I was like, I want to record furry content. So we started doing that, and it got positivity, and then we started doing the lives, and for a while B wasn't a furry, but he started to be, you should tell the story about how you became a furry.
Yeah, I mean, we started doing the lives and stuff, and I would say for the first probably first 6 months of us doing the lives, I wasn't a furry.
Yeah.
But then when we went to AntherCon, that changed like everything for me. Like I already saw the wholesome side of everything because of the live stream. So we always our whole life is built on like interacting with people and talking to people and having like establishing a bond or like friendship or whatever you want to call it. That's literally what it's all about. but it was just really, really different and cool on a whole nother level to see it at AntherCon, to like see all of the suits together, just to see how excited everybody got when they saw a suit that really caught their eye that they thought was cool and unique. And also me personally, like as somebody who is still on the newer side to like creating fursuits, you know, like I was a fursuit creator before I was a furry, which is weird and kind of crazy. Like I created fursuits without being a furry.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I really saw a lot of really cool suits and I appreciated it a lot. And I was like, man, you know, to like I just kind of like understood from these people's point of view how much it meant to them for them to spend that kind of money and effort to make those suits. So I was like, I don't know, I just empathized a lot and I kind of understood and I felt the vibes and you know, like the furry raves and stuff at AntherCon, just everything. Like for real, like actually when we were at fun fact, a lot of people don't know this, but when we went to the AntherCon raves, she went up on stage with Ozone and she was dancing at the rave one of the nights. You know, everybody was up there moshing on stage and she went up there and she was dancing on stage and stuff. And just seeing all of that stuff, just seeing all these people be able to let loose and have a really good time, was amazing.
Yeah,
it was really, really
just
cool.
crazy. AntherCon
So-
was like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
It was just nuts.
I also think that I'm like a goofy person, and I'm like I don't really have any social anxiety at all, which I understand is sort of rare. I get like a lot of people that come to our stream and stuff have some type of social anxiety or like fear of interacting with people or whatever. I understand that. I don't really have that, so I kind of see myself as like able to be like extra goofy and extra fried. So like if I get a fursuit, you know, and I throw that on, I'm gonna be just like extra, 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 extra. So everybody around me is gonna like, you know, I just want to be able to make people laugh and stuff. Like I see other people loving the interactions, and I just know I can probably do that, but like in a much more goofy, energetic, fried way. So
Yes.
yeah.
That's another long answer.
Yes, sorry our answers are so long. I'm answering with long answers because I know you said you're gonna have a ton of questions, so I want to fill in some of the time with the long answers.
And all of these questions are long answer worthy.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of this podcast. You know, we're trying to not get like the usual quick responses. You know, we want to get the real answers. We get deep.
Yeah, for sure. Question is, well, number third question. Do
Mhm.
you have your own Sona, or is it just Starburst that you guys both have or share?
Oh, me? No, I don't have. I don't have the artwork or anything, but I plan on making my own protogen head. It's going to be the craziest protogen head in existence.
It's a very wild idea.
It's a very, very crazy idea, but I'm going to make it myself with the help and some guidance of some other people. But it's basically going to be like, it's really difficult to explain without a visual. But it's going to be like not the usual protogen. Like, you know, the usual protogen has like the black, and then it's got like kind of like almost a helmet vibe type of deal. Mine's gonna be shaped. Mine is gonna be like, I don't know if you know what connects are. They're kind of like Legos, but they're like rods and stuff that connect. It's gonna be kind of like that. It'll be like bars and like ball things that'll all be like electronic and see through and have lights and LEDs in them. So it's basically gonna be like a hollow construct shaped like a crocodile that'll have all different kinds of lights and features and stuff. And that's probably not a very good description. In my head, that was a good description because I know what it looks like, but to everybody else, it probably sounds ridiculous. It's just basically going to be like I don't know, if you made like a rudimentary crocodile shape and then removed all of the inside and just kept like the edges, kind of. Is that a better sort of? But just like with a bunch of lights and stuff, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. I'm gonna have
Sounds cool.
I'm gonna have some artwork of it soon. It's honestly my fault. Tactical's probably watching right now and probably shaking their head. They've been asking me, and I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, Tactical. I keep forgetting that I need to drop a loose thing because I'm not a very good artist. I need to drop just a loose thing to show them, and they'll do it. So I do want to have the artwork.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I swear to God. Even though it's my birthday, I'm doing it tomorrow. But yeah, so yeah, Starburst is only hers. I don't really have one, but I might in the meantime, just because my protogen idea is going to cost me a lot of money, even if I make it myself. So I'm probably going to end up with a skull dog in the meantime. Do some kind of crazy skull dog.
We should do a lot of lights.
Yeah, skull dog with a good amount of lights on it. I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Christmas lights.
yeah. Have you seen Maul by any chance?
Mall?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Let me show you Maul real
He's
quick.
gonna get Maul.
This will be kind of like a
Maul?
loose idea.
Maul. Like Darth Maul.
Oh.
Yeah, he's pretty dope.
Yeah, Maul is cool. Maul is a half skull. So fun fact: the original ozone, I fell and broke it because Kiki tripped me, and when I broke it, only the bottom jaw broke. So the top part of the skull was still intact. So I made Maul, which, as you can see here, is pretty dope.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so these are all, little rhinestones that I had to hot glue individually. So, and the chainmail. So, you can see I like to make things very unique. So, when I make my skull dog, it's going to be very, very, very crazy. It's going to be like this, but a little crazier, a little bit more lights, and the whole bottom jaw as well.
It's gonna be awesome. I want to get.
But yeah. So yes, I have very crazy ideas, but I like to be unique, and that's why I was pretty down with being a furry because I don't know, it just makes sense. I make this stuff, I might as well wear it, and I have a goofy, energetic personality, so I might as well just combine those two things and make people happy.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear. I think that I think that's all the questions I have.
Okay, yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
For real, I mean, most of the people watching this will probably know more about us than you, so it's good that we're asking more and more
Right.
questions about you because it is more about you.
It's true. You're the guest on the podcast.
You're the guest of honor, and for real, we want to thank you very, very much for doing this.
Yeah.
I know that you don't have to do this. And I know you don't see yourself as an influencer, so you probably think it's no problem. But to us, you are somebody to look up to.
Yeah.
Like your followers and all that stuff. You make great content. You have a lot of followers and all that, and you're somebody that everybody in the community can look up to. So, we wanted to thank you for being on here, and I hope that this all ends up panning out well and we get a good amount of views and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think it really is cool to get some cool answers, like a one-on-one with Verge.
Yeah,
It's
for
dope.
sure. It's hype as heck.
Yeah.
Get the inside view of Verge.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have any other questions. Unless there's anything else you can think of. I think that might be it. Is there anything you can think of? I mean, we had.
What's your favorite food?
Yeah, so we should ask some fried stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Favorite food is lasagna.
Ooh, lasagna? What kind of lasagna?
Like
though?
Garfield.
I like the mostly the lasagna from Olive Garden.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's like a trip around Paris, the name of it or something.
Okay.
It's like a bunch of stuff, and then
Okay. Nice.
yeah,
Oh
you
yeah.
just refill it.
That's what's up.
It's so good.
We gotta add a couple of fried questions into our next one that we do. We'll just ask in the middle of all these serious questions. We'll add.
What's your favorite kind of?
Yeah,
bean?
after 4 questions, serious ones, we'll be like, "What's your favorite kind of bean? what's your favorite?"
Or paws?
Maws, paws, tails, or claws?
Thighs.
No, those are the same thing. Oh man. All right. Well, anything else from you?
No, I think I got all the questions in.
All right, bet. I think we did too.
Yeah.
So we'll probably call it then. Or call it here. Call it there. Call it where. Call it who? Huh? What was I saying?
Okay.
All right, but for now, thank you again for doing this.
Real.
We really, really appreciate you a lot. And for real, when we're gonna try and edit and upload this tonight, it might not actually be uploaded to YouTube until later though. It's gonna take a fat.
It's gonna take 12 hours.
It's gonna take forever to upload.
It's gonna take 28 days.
Yeah, we're basically gonna start uploading it before we go to bed.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be a good idea.
but yeah, man, for real. Once we get the link and all that, we could shoot you over the link, and you can watch it if you want, or share it, or whatever you want to do with it. You don't have to promote it at all if you don't want. We're gonna promote it as much as we can on our end. And yeah, again, thank you again.
Yeah,
That's
for
it.
sure. It's awesome.
We-
10
Yeah, for
out of 10
sure.
first podcast.
Heck yeah. All right, Ben. Well,
Bet.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Goodbye, hugs.
Bye, hugs.
Goodbye, hugs.
Hey.
Let's see if I can get to the
Goodbye,
camera.
hugs.
There you go.
Oh
There
my
you go.
God!
Stop.
Whoa!
Hi.
Holy moly! Jeez!
Bye,
Goodbye,
hugs.
hugs. You scared
Let
the
me zoom in
crap
here.
out of me.
There you
Bye.
go.
Whoa!
Bye.
Nice collar. Ooh, I like the collar.
There you
Ooh, whoa! Oh
The
my
avatar is
God.
so cool. Somebody did that.
Bruh, you're like a magical shapeshifter. That's crazy.
go. Yeah. This world is interesting. Let me see here.
It is. I love it, bro. That's awesome. Oh my God. That's
Man,
crazy.
zooming in.
I like that.
Hi.
Adorable.
That's a perfect thing to end it on.
Yeah. That should be the thumbnail.
Well, there's a boop.
Boop.
I have to.
Why'd you boop me? Oh.
I had to.
Birch gets booped on podcast?
Yup. That's gonna be the title of the podcast.
What?
It's gonna be like not clickbait.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, dude. We'll catch you. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a
I'll
nice
see ya.
night, dude.
Have a wonderful time.
Bye.
Adios.
Have a good one.
It was nice talking with you.
Hey,
Yeah,
you too. For real, you're just as friendly as we knew you would be.
Yeah.
Okay. Adios for now, dude.
Thanks again.
Yeah, for sure. Bye-bye.
See ya.